The player that's most likely to launch a successful company is who?
Ooh. Honestly, I'm going to say Paige Beckers. She knows what to say. She's genuine. If she put her mind to wanting to start a business and a brand, she'd nail it.
Nneka Ogwumike. She's already been able to handle every business aspect of the league. So Nneka.
I think that sometimes people forget I have feelings. I'm a real individual. I feel things and I have emotions and I get emotional and I get frustrated and I get sad and I get upset. I get happy. I get joyful. And I feel and experience all that stuff. But at the same time, I have really thick skin. And I think also I always try to remind myself is social media is not always reality. And that is really lost on people. And I think we get so down a rabbit hole all the time that you read all these things and you're like, oh, that has to be true. Or that has to be what people really think of me. Or that has to be what, the young girl thinks of me that's showing up. That's not true. The young girls and the young boys, they absolutely love the way you play. They love the way you carry yourself. And
have you ever wondered what would happen if the biggest star in a league became the one person the league seemed least interested in celebrating? Imagine breaking attendance records, smashing television ratings, selling out arenas across the country, and still watching your name disappear from conversations that are supposedly about the future of the sport. It sounds impossible, but that's exactly why so many fans believe something strange is happening inside the WNBA.
The WNBA, they just keep driving into a wall at full speed with Caitlin Clark. They now have a commemorative poster of 30 years of the WNBA. Caitlin Clark's not on. And it's not just an ode to the veterans that started the league. Paige Beckers and Angel Reese are on it. And Caitlin Clark's not. When she broke into the league, you moved her road games to bigger arenas to accommodate the fans, and she's not on the 30-year poster. Recently there were TV games. Hers got double the rating of A'ja Wilson, the best player in the league, the 3-time champ and the 4-time MVP. Double the rating. This is a paranoid, weird, insular league.
Over the past 2 seasons, Caitlin Clark has transformed women's basketball in ways few athletes ever transform a professional sport. Every city she visits experiences packed arenas. Television ratings skyrocket, merchandise disappears from shelves. Casual fans who never watched a WNBA game suddenly know game schedules, player stats, and highlight reels. Yet despite all of that, there are moments where it almost feels like the league itself is hesitant to acknowledge the obvious. Recently, that conversation exploded again. During a lengthy discussion about the growth of the WNBA, presenters analyzed the league's momentum, its future, and the excitement surrounding women's basketball. They discussed expansion, they discussed business, they discussed the next chapter of the league. But somehow, they never mentioned Caitlin Clark. Not once. For many fans, that wasn't just surprising. It was impossible to ignore. Because regardless of where anyone stands on the endless debates surrounding Clark, one fact keeps showing up over and over again. Whenever she's playing, people watch. Whenever she visits another city, ticket demand surges. Whenever her highlights hit social media, millions of people engage with them. So how does someone generating that level of attention become almost invisible in conversations about the league's growth? That's the question people keep asking. And it didn't stop there. Not long after, fans noticed another decision that fueled even more criticism. The WNBA released a commemorative poster celebrating 30 years of league history. Several current stars appeared. Several legends appeared. Even younger players with far less professional impact were included. But Caitlin Clark wasn't. To many observers, it felt less like an oversight and more like another example of something that's becoming increasingly difficult to explain. After all, this is the same player whose arrival forced teams to move games into larger arenas because demand exceeded capacity. The same player whose broadcasts routinely produce some of the highest television ratings the league has seen in decades. The same player whose games often outperform contests featuring established MVPs and championship-winning veterans. Those aren't opinions. Those are measurable results, which is why fans continue asking the same question. If she's driving unprecedented attention to the league, why does it sometimes feel like the league is reluctant to embrace it? Of course, none of this is Caitlin Clark's doing. In multiple interviews, she's repeatedly explained that she never asked to become the center of every conversation. She simply wanted to play basketball. Instead, every game seems to generate another headline, another debate, another social media storm. Clark has admitted that sometimes people forget she's still just a person. She talks openly about having emotions, about getting frustrated, about feeling hurt, about reading things written by people who've never actually spoken to her. At the same time, she reminds herself that social media isn't real life. The loudest voices online don't always represent the fans filling arenas, because whenever she actually interacts with young fans, the experience is completely different. Kids aren't arguing about television narratives. They aren't debating politics. They're simply excited to watch someone play basketball in a way they've never seen before. That disconnect has become one of the strangest parts of her career. The online conversation often sounds dramatically different from what happens inside arenas every single night. And while Clark continues focusing on basketball, another storyline has quietly been building behind the scenes, one involving the future leadership of the entire league. Reports have suggested that Commissioner Cathy Engelbert may be approaching the end of her tenure after the upcoming season. Official decisions haven't been finalized, but conversations surrounding league leadership have intensified dramatically. According to multiple reports, many stakeholders believe the WNBA has entered an entirely different era, one requiring a different kind of leadership. Not because the league hasn't grown. It clearly has. Revenue has increased. Visibility has exploded. Corporate partnerships continue expanding. But critics argue that handling rapid growth requires more than financial success. It requires understanding why that growth happened in the first place. And that's where Caitlin Clark inevitably enters the discussion again. Many business analysts believe she's become the league's single biggest commercial engine. Sponsors recognize it. Broadcast partners recognize it. Television executives recognize it. Ticket buyers certainly recognize it. Which raises another uncomfortable question. Did the league fully recognize it soon enough? Some experts in sports reputation management have openly questioned whether stronger relationships should have been built around Clark earlier, especially considering the unprecedented attention she brought almost immediately after entering the league. Whether that's fair criticism or not is open for debate. But the conversation itself continues gaining momentum, because professional sports ultimately operate on two separate realities. There's basketball, and there's business. Sometimes they're perfectly aligned. Sometimes they aren't. History has shown repeatedly that being the league's best player isn't always the same thing as being its biggest attraction. Those are two completely different roles. Some athletes dominate statistically. Others transform an entire sport culturally. Occasionally, one player manages to do both. That's why so many people believe the next commissioner will inherit a very different challenge. Instead of asking how to create attention, the question may become how to maximize attention that's already here, because the numbers leave very little room for interpretation. Clark's games consistently rank among the most watched broadcasts. Attendance jumps dramatically wherever she plays. Road arenas fill with fans wearing jerseys from both teams. Local businesses report increased activity on game nights. Media coverage extends well beyond traditional basketball audiences. Those are exactly the kinds of metrics sponsors dream about. And sponsors don't invest based on emotion. They invest based on exposure. Meanwhile, Clark herself has remained remarkably consistent whenever she's asked about the constant criticism. Rather than attacking anyone personally, she usually returns to the same message. She wants people to judge her basketball, not assumptions about her character. She understands that reporters have jobs. Commentators have opinions. Fans have disagreements. But she also points out something important. Most people discussing her have never actually had a conversation with her. Yet many confidently describe who she supposedly is. Clark has acknowledged that criticism comes with being a public figure. What frustrates her isn't criticism itself. It's when narratives become detached from reality. When people question her character without ever taking the time to know her. Despite all of that, she insists her love for basketball hasn't changed. Winning remains the goal. Helping her team compete remains the goal. Everything else is simply noise she has learned to tune out. Still, that noise continues growing louder. Because this conversation has evolved into something much bigger than one rookie sensation or one successful season. It's becoming a debate about the future identity of the WNBA itself. Should the league lean fully into the player-generating historic attention? Or should it continue trying to spread that spotlight more evenly across its stars? For some, the answer seems obvious. For others, it's far more complicated. But one thing appears increasingly difficult to deny. The audience has already started making that decision on its own. But here's what many people believe the league can no longer ignore. Professional sports have always followed one simple rule. Fans decide who becomes the face of a league, not executives, not commentators, and not fellow players. Whether people love Caitlin Clark or criticize her, they keep watching. Every sold-out arena, every record-breaking TV audience, and every viral highlight sends the same message. Attention follows her. That doesn't diminish the accomplishments of veteran stars or championship winners. They've earned their place in WNBA history, but being one of the greatest players and being the biggest attraction have never been the same thing. Sports history is full of athletes whose popularity changed an entire league, and many believe Clark has reached that point. If new leadership does arrive, one of its biggest challenges will be deciding how to build on the momentum that's already here. Ignoring the league's biggest draw simply isn't a long-term business strategy. Meanwhile, Clark has stayed focused on the only thing she can control, her game. Despite the criticism, the headlines, and the constant debates surrounding her, she continues to let her performances speak for themselves. And that's what makes this story so fascinating. The controversy may continue. Opinions will always be divided. But numbers don't have opinions. Television ratings, ticket sales, merchandise demand, and packed arenas all tell the same story. In the end, the audience always has the final vote. Every time fans tune in, every time another arena sells out, every time another highlight goes viral, they're making that choice themselves. Whether everyone inside the league likes it or not, the conversation around Caitlin Clark isn't getting smaller, it's getting bigger. And if history has taught us anything, it's that once fans choose a superstar, there's very little anyone can do to change it. So the real question isn't whether Caitlin Clark is changing the WNBA. The real question is the WNBA finally ready to embrace the change? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Caitlin Clark is already the undeniable face of the WNBA? Or is this debate far from over? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.